when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
You know, one of the things my mother always instilled for me from when I was very young is that, you know, girls can always do whatever, you know what I mean? And to be independent and not to ever depend on anyone for anything.
And you said J-Lo mom didn't like Puff either, right?
His mom couldn't stand. Mom never took a present, a gift. Well, when I saw a lot of people, a lot of investigators following us, you know, I knew they were private eyes. Because I worked for a private eye company at that time also. That was Elite Investigation on 29th Street between, what was that, 10th and 11th Avenue. It was on 29th Street, Elite Investigation. So you know a lot of the private eyes, different private eye companies, you work with them on different other clients. One time we had Sharon Stone. So I knew a lot of the guys, and I saw a couple of guys who worked a couple of jobs with me before watching us. So I know a couple of guys that were watching us. So I was trying to tell Paul, yo, you know, we got PIs following us. You know what I'm saying? So it was only certain reasons if they was following us, if they was PIs, somebody was trying to find out something on us.
Diddy shudders thinking about J-Lo's mother, and you should too. Now, we all know about the infamous Lopez Combs situationship, how the rapper cheated on his now ex-partner multiple times to be abusive towards her in quite all capacities.
He was larger than life, but at first I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like, you know, ick. I didn't like him because, you know, Sean and I were very different that way.
But did you know that as per recent reveals, Jennifer Lopez's mommy dearest despises the Bad Boy Records founder? For what reasons in particular? Here's everything you need to know. J.Lo's mother is growing increasingly hateful of the rapper after surprising details about a crazy party that allegedly involved Diddy, Jennifer Lopez, and Corinne Steffens surfaced in a recent interview. Of course, she is also quite famous for hiring a private investigator to tail Diddy on his alleged cheating tours while he was dating Jennifer back then.
They'll usually be following us, not when we're going to a big party and stuff like that. They'll just be following me and Puff on our days that we were out and about and we were going certain places. So either somebody hired private eyes to follow us on behalf of Jennifer Lopez, or she did.
But why you think her and her team would do that?
Somebody hired private eyes to follow us. It could have been her manager, Benny Medina. He didn't like Puff. You understand? So I could tell when in the first meeting, when I was around him and Puff, when I was in the first meeting with around him and Puff, we was in this meeting, and I could tell how he was talking to Puff. You know what I'm saying? That he didn't so much care for Puff. So anything to get Jennifer away from him, I think he was capable and ready to do it.
And you said J-Lo mom didn't like Puff either, right?
His mom couldn't stand. Mom never took a present, a gift. If she needed air to breathe, she wouldn't take his last breath.
But why the private eyes? Well, Gene Deal, the ex-bodyguard for Diddy, has revealed that Corinne had sex with Puff Daddy while Jennifer Lopez was upstairs in the same home. You heard that right.
We had just came from, Jennifer had just gave him this hell of a day. I mean, like, we went to the Miami Hurricanes game. Was it? Yeah, we went to the Miami State Hurricane. We was on the field while they were playing and stuff. And he gave him a party at 321 in Miami. She rented a club, gave him a party, gave him this big backyard party, dinner and everything like that. Then gave him a party at the club. And then we came back, one of his, what's his name? Slam, had set it up because Jennifer went upstairs. And Puff said, yo, Gene, watch the door.
Many people are now doubting the authenticity of the well-known couple's relationship and the degree of Lopez's knowledge about Puff Daddy's infidelity in light of these startling allegations. Jean claimed that Diddy and Jennifer Lopez had gone to a Miami Hurricanes game and that Lopez had thrown a spectacular dinner party that they had afterward enjoyed. But when they got back to the club, Diddy's friend Slam supposedly made arrangements for a woman, who was initially thought to be Kareen, to meet them in a secluded chamber.
And I wanted to say it was Korean, but I'm not sure it was her. But it was supposed to be somebody that was either up to her level in fellatios, or it was her. I'm not sure. And while Jennifer was upstairs, he was down there getting a fellatio from her.
Did she ever find out?
She know now.
And you said the female name was Karen?
Yeah, Superhead.
Oh, okay, Corinne Stephens. You got to say the full name, man.
Yeah, I thought it was her. Slam set it up. Yep, Slam set it up for her right there. Yep. It was nobody. It was somebody that was. I'm for sure. I'm almost sure it was her. I'm almost sure it was her.
Yeah, that's a wild story, man. So Puffy, he was getting head from, Superhead, and Jennifer Lopez was upstairs and she had no idea.
None whatsoever.
Was this after or before she did the sex tape?
Nah. She wasn't known. Yeah. Yo, let me just tell you something. Puff was like Pop. He had first dibs on a lot of chicks before they got to the rest of the rappers and everything like that.
Though most of the details are still unknown, there appears to be considerable uncertainty over the identity of the woman in question, whether or not it was Stephens. Yet, Jean Deal maintained that Jennifer Lopez had no idea what was going on under her, which left her mother particularly confused about their relationship's dynamics. Naturally, JLo has her own narrative about how she felt about each situation as it happened.
It was a really tough decision to make, and one that in your heart, you just, it's always gonna just affect you. You never wanna break up a family. That wasn't my dream. My dream was for us to always be together. But things don't work out and you feel like it's the better choice. Or if I didn't feel it was the better choice, then I wouldn't have done it.
Since their split 2 years ago, Jennifer Lopez and Sean P. Diddy Combs have been careful about not disparaging one another. Thus far, JLo says to Vibe Magazine, "It was the first time I was with someone who wasn't faithful. I was completely crying, crazy, and going crazy in this relationship with Puff. It really took my whole life in a comfort together." She once revealed during an interview, "I can't remember right now, but I won't say it didn't happen. I never caught him, but I just knew. He'd say he was going to a club for a couple of hours and then never come back that night." Lopez also claims that Combs didn't believe her when she finally broke up with him in February 2001 because they had broken up so frequently. "I had to think, do I want to be home with kids in 10 years, wondering where somebody is at 3 in the morning?"
There was just this feeling of like, I think because or maybe everybody's like this, I don't know, but because I'm an artist, I feel things very deeply, and passion and kind of romance and all that kind of stuff is so exciting to me, you know what I mean? So,
to all of us,
yeah, exactly, but also to me, and I was always attracted to the more intense the person was, or the more passionate they were, the more things, the way they acted with their love, to me, really is what attracted me a lot of times. And I realized that's not always a great thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
As cool as it is in the beginning, it has to sustain beyond that and be something that has real basis to it, and where real people are, it can go beyond just that beginning honeymoon stage.
On top of that, Jennifer has admitted to going through a great deal of emotional and mental suffering in their relationship, even though she has never formally accused Diddy of abusing her. It's also quite ironic that, despite their limited communication, Jennifer and Diddy remain pals years later. A source said that they were last seen grinning after her trip to Las Vegas in 2018. But their clumsy, weird, and violent relationship continued, which is also, we assume, one of the many reasons JLo's mother doesn't get along with Diddy.
You feel like you're just letting everybody down all the time. You never really just doing anything right. I'm sure everybody feels that way. Just always feel like you're just not good. I'm sure everybody feels that way. Just always feel like you're just not good enough. You're not good enough at the steps. You're not good enough in the movie. You're not good enough as a partner, as a mother, as all of the things. And all you want to do is be the best at all those things. And it's just hard.
See, while promoting his album during an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Sean Diddy Combs once addressed a really explosive rumor. Kimmel immediately jumped into it, citing an online accusation made by someone posing as Diddy's ex-bodyguard. Reportedly, Diddy threatened to take bodily revenge on Smith following Will Smith and Jada Pinkett's encounter, given that while Diddy was dating Lopez, Smith supposedly asked her out on a threesome.
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Startled, Diddy refuted the assertion, expressing dismay at the direction the conversation had taken.
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I ever No,
it's all about love, though. That's not true?
Not to be outdone, Diddy brought up the topic of love while continuing to refute the claim when Kimmel asked for an explanation. The exchange became tense as Diddy expressed his displeasure with the line of questioning and doubts about the source's credibility. Yet, Diddy's former security, Gene Deal, has provided new information regarding the alleged incident. Deal asserts that everything took place during a little birthday celebration for Ben Affleck, which was attended by Diddy, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Jennifer Lopez.
We were at a birthday party that I think either Matt Damon was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. It was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and it was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arm some kind of way, like, and then he went like this, you know, like that. I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm going to snuff him." I said to myself, Will Smith gonna beat the shit out you. Now, Puff could scrap now, but I don't think he could beat Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? But he could scrap. You know what I'm saying? So then he said that shit. So I didn't go back over there where Will Smith's sister and her husband was. I stayed about, if he snuffed Will, I could move slow enough that Will could probably get 2 or 3 punches back in. Yeah, but that shit was funny. He thought that Jada and Will was coming on too strong to Jennifer, making advances.
Gene with regard to how Diddy made a joke about maybe going up against Smith since he felt the Smiths were making moves on Lopez, pushing the idea that J-Lo's mother always wanted her daughter to not become part of such freak-offs.
It was a hard time. And to decide to go on tour really came from the fact that I was in a lot of pain at the time. I just needed something else to focus on. It really held up a mirror to who I was and who I'd been and who I was becoming and what I was learning, because of the fact that I went through probably the hardest time of my life. It's one of the hardest things ever. Really difficult. The loss of that dream. And so to find a new dream, to pick yourself back up, to dance again, became the message that I wanted to share, but also that I needed to live.
I also love the fact that you say in the film that you then believe in love even more.
I do. I do, because I finally feel like I understand what it is. My kids help me with that, you know, because of how I love them. And we're like, oh, this is what true unconditional love feels like. Oh, okay, now I get it.
Naturally, there is also the whole Cassie Ventura situation, which is the reason Jennifer's mother wishes for her daughter to never be around Diddy. That is, for her own protection and well-being. Just in case you forgot, Cassie was formerly Diddy's girlfriend in addition to J.Lo. What makes their case unique, though, is that we are all aware of how Cassie Ventura, Sean Diddy Combs' long-term companion, filed a complaint in November, disclosing explicit details about her relationship with Diddy.
In court docs obtained by ET Thursday, the R&B singer accuses the media mogul of creating a pattern of control and abuse that she alleges began soon after they met in 2005.
I gotta give a special thank you to the people that was really like there for me. Also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Diddy vehemently denying the claims he calls offensive and outrageous. Among them, allegations Combs kicked and punched Cassie, who also claims he made her engage in sexual acts with male sex workers.
The lawsuit alleged that Combs had engaged in rape, beatings, sex trafficking, and other unpleasant behaviors during their 13-year relationship that was intermittent.
Well, you know, he get the sex trafficking because he took her to different states and had her perform sex acts with different, you know, male prostitutes and different people, sometimes against her will. You know, we look at this and we say, well, that was his girl and she did it on her own. She didn't have to. Man, you can't say that. That was a 19-year-old girl that what they call now groomed by an older man. And yes, she got some of the benefits of being with a billionaire, millionaire and everything like that. But it's just certain things that he did to groom her and put her into that position that she wanted the career, she wanted to do the music, she wanted to be a performer and all this stuff like that. He held all that shit over her head, bro.
That's all for today. Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. For more updates, hit the bell icon.